Hey folks, this is Old School coming to you live from the Venetian in Las Vegas, Nevada. I just checked in. I got settled here. I logged on to YouTube. I saw there was a bunch of comments in from a bunch of people. I want to thank y'all for responding to my post about the Josh Freeman draft pick. I know that this has sort of catalyzed a lot of people into action, and it certainly has put people in multiple camps. I clearly am in the camp where I don't like the pick. Some of you guys happen to agree with me. A number of you don't. I want to thank the people who sent me private messages, as well as the people who sent video responses. And I need to go find the name of the cat who sent me the video response, which I did approve. I'll do that while I'm recording, but I want to start this by talking about the couple questions I'm going to try and answer from the responses that I did get from everybody. So the first one is, does Freeman suck? Right? And a lot of people seem to think that my dislike of this particular draft selection is because I think that Josh Freeman sucks. I'm sorry that I'm not looking at the camera right now, but I'm trying to find the gentleman who posted the video response because I think I need to at least give him the credit of responding to him by name. It's YUSNYAT, and it's probably a really cool way to say that, but I'm not quite cool enough to figure out the phonetics on it. But anyway, does Josh Freeman suck? I didn't watch a lot of Josh Freeman during the year. I saw a lot of the film. I saw a lot of the stuff on YouTube. I do have friends who watch a lot of football out there in that conference, and they're not fans. I know that what I did see online I wasn't particularly impressed with. When I looked at the stats, and I know you can't determine a player by their stats alone, what I saw was when there were big games, he shrunk, and in small games, he piled on points. Does that mean he doesn't have a strong arm? No. Does that mean he's not a big kid? Hell no. He's clearly a big kid. Does that mean he doesn't have talent? No. This isn't a condemnation of Josh Freeman's talent or lack thereof. It is simply saying that at the point that we are as a franchise, I did not think that we needed to use the 19 pick to then trade up to 17 and give up a 6th-rounder to take a quarterback who is as close to not a sure thing as Josh Freeman is. Now, when you look at that, would I have been in favor of taking Sanchez or Stafford if they had fallen that far down? I don't think so, because I don't think that's what we needed to do. But I'm not a guy who thinks that franchise quarterbacks, right, that term franchise quarterbacks, is really something that exists. I think there's a lot of data out there that says that. Now, I use Peyton Manning as a reference. He's one of the oddities, right? Drew Brees, an oddity. I think people are jumping too quickly to say Matt Ryan and Joe Flacco are franchise QBs. They did well for the franchise last year, just like Matt Castle did. But you have to have staying power to be a franchise QB. So I went back and did a little bit of research, and this is in response specifically to my man here, Paletta, who sent me a private message. I appreciate it. And he asked if I'm really a fan, because how could I be against this pick? I can be a fan and disagree, right? And this speaks to the question of how should a fan view the draft? Well, I view the draft as I want to see my team get better in every way and in the ways they need it the most. And we invested in Luke McCown. He's been here for quite a while. I think a lot of us who've seen him in training camp and in preseason think he's got a lot of potential. We went out and got Byron Leftwich. We give both those guys decent money, starter money, to compete. At least that was the story. And then we go and we sign someone we're going to have to give a big pile of money to compete as well. Now, I have no problem with us saying goodbye to Brian Greasy. I just don't think that was what you do in advance of the draft, even if it was a smokescreen, which is what Freeman came out and said, which, again, was stupid, so whoever's advising him should tell him to keep his mouth shut. A, don't talk about using a veteran like Byron Leftwich as a smokescreen because it's disrespectful to the veteran and it makes the franchise look stupid. And B, don't come out and say that you're better than Sanchez and Stafford when you don't have any of the accolades to prove that that's true. You want to prove you're better than those guys? Go play, right? And he says he's going to, but you don't do the first before you do the second, right? That's a level of arrogance I don't think you need. And I like arrogant kids, right? But I think that was too much. I think he needs a better handler or advisors. Now, when I look back at the YU, or this from Paletta, I'm crossing over some of these guys, right, about Usin Yat, right? We'll call him YSY. His comments, and this kind of goes along with Paletta's as well, says that the Bucs needed a franchise quarterback. We've needed him for so long. How can you be possibly mad that we went after him, right, that we've wanted this? We just want to win games. Don't give a crap if it's because we have a Peyton Manning in the pocket, right? Now, we've gone out and drafted quarterbacks in the first round. The one that I drew the allusion to, or the comparison to originally, was Doug Williams, right, in 78, similar size. But Doug Williams was tearing up college when he came in. 17 pick. It was kind of interesting as the number 17 pick overall. Vinny Testaverde. Trent Dilfer. We traded in 83 our first-round pick to Indianapolis, or to Cincinnati to get Jack Thompson and throw in Samoan. In 92, we traded the second overall pick in the draft to Indianapolis to get Chris Chandler. We've gone after quarterbacks that were supposed to be franchise quarterbacks, and to be honest, they did what most quarterbacks do. They were mediocre or bad. Right? Finding those unique quarterbacks is not science. It's art. It's luck in a lot of ways. Because you have to have a combination of skills, mental ability, and surrounding cast. to make all of those things come together. Very rarely do you have a quarterback who can just go into any scenario and just be lights out. So that's why I'm not a fan of this constant pursuit of the franchise quarterback. I think that you try and build your team all over, right? And with the needs we had at the position we were, and clearly with the other teams that were able to trade up and trade down, there was motion that could occur. The Patriots went and accumulated a ton of picks and made their team better all across the board, from defensive line to secondary, and it pisses me off because I hate the Patriots, right? So it's very frustrating. Am I happy that he wants to play for Tampa? Yeah. Am I happy that Coach Morris likes him? Yeah, that's great. I just don't know that that was the right thing for the franchise. Now, it's not my job, you're right, but as a fan, I certainly can have that opinion, and I'm going to espouse that opinion, right? And if I had the opportunity to talk to Coach Morris, I'd say the same damn thing, right? And the fact that he came out in the press conference and said that if he had the first overall pick, he would have taken Freeman then, is an example of that lunacy, in my opinion. Now, it may have been just hyperbole, right? But I just think it's nuts. Now, there was another comment that came in here from 41090. One of the problems with Freeman was he didn't have any talent around him, and we need to trust the scouts. And that could very well be true. I've got my contact from Nebraska calling me this weekend. I'm going to see him when I'm out here in Vegas. We're going to get some information about Freeman. At the end of the day, I just don't think this is the direction we should have taken. I'm not going to back off from that stance. It has nothing to do with not being a fan. It doesn't have anything to do with being a Jag. It has to do with this was not, in my opinion, what we should have done moving forward. And I'm going to be trying to post some while I'm out here. I'm on a work conference. But I really appreciate all the heated feedback that came back. If you guys have data that makes you think that Freeman's the next coming, let me have it. Let me know it, right? We're going to try and get this stuff on the line. Now, we went and got a D tackle and a D end later in the draft today. Apparently, I've been trying to catch up since I got in from the airport. So that's good. But in general, I still stand by the position that I think Josh Freeman in this pick was crazy. And the move up was even more crazy. If Denver wanted him that bad, then Denver could have taken him. But that's where I stand. I want to tell you guys I appreciate your post 41090. YUSNYAT, I approved your video response. I appreciate it. I don't necessarily agree with it, but that's okay. I still appreciate it. I appreciate your position. And Paletta as well. I said, Paletta, you need to calm down some, man. You seem pretty pissed off that I had the audacity to disagree with the front office. Well, I'll tell you what, I'm going to disagree on times, right? And I think that's everyone's prerogative to do so. Does that mean I'm not going to be cheering for the team? Hell no. Does that mean I'm going to hope that Josh Freeman falls on his face? Hell no, right? I would rather be wrong. I'd rather this guy be the second coming and make the team win 10 Super Bowls in a row, right? And I'll say, Coach Morris, man, you are the man. But as of right now, I don't have enough to believe that that's true, right? So here we go. Just like I won't give predictions about what we're going to do until I go see minicamp, I can't really say that Freeman's a tool until I go out there and watch him play, right? So we'll see. What I can say is strategically, this did make a lot of sense from my perspective. So thanks for tuning into the channel. Hopefully you guys enjoy the videos. Get a chance to rate them, and tell your friends about it. We won't have a show at WhatTheBuc.net this week because I'm here, but we will be back the week after, and we may be lining up another interview with some players. So thanks again. Talk to you later.